September 9th, 2022. Daily Bread. Passage Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 22 through verse 33. Key verse 32 through 33. Title: Walk in Obedience. These are the commandments the Lord proclaimed in a loud voice to your whole assembly, there on the mountain from out of the fire, the cloud, and the deep darkness. And he added nothing more. Then he wrote them on 2 stone tablets and gave them to me. When you heard the voice out of the darkness, while the mountain was ablaze with fire, all the leaders of your tribes and your elders came to me. And you said, "The Lord our God has shown us his glory and his majesty, and we have heard his voice from the fire. Today we have seen that a person can live even if God speaks with them. But now, why should we die? This great fire will consume us, and we will die if we hear the voice of the Lord our God any longer. For what mortals have ever heard the voice of the living God speaking out of fire as we have and survived? Go near and listen to all that the Lord our God says. Then tell us whatever the Lord our God tells you. We will listen and obey. The Lord heard you when you spoke to me, and the Lord said to me, I have heard what this people said to you. Everything they said was good. Oh, that their hearts would be inclined to fear me and keep all my commands always, so that it may go well with them and their children forever. Go tell them to return to their tents. But you stay here with me so that I may give you all the commands, decrees, and laws you are to teach them to follow in the land I'm giving them to possess. So be careful to do what the Lord your God has commanded you. Do not turn aside to the right or to the left. Walk in obedience to all that the Lord your God has commanded you, so that you may live and prosper and prolong your days in the land that you will possess. Daily Bread Message. God has given Moses 2 stone tablets with the 10 commandments on them. The Israelites had experienced amazing things on the mountain that day. They saw God's glory and majesty and heard his voice from the fire. While this mountaintop experience gave hope for a future with God, it also highlighted their need for a mediator. Moses would teach and help them to obey all God commanded them. This foreshadows our need for Jesus. Verse 29 reveals God's heart desire then and now. God longs for our hearts to be turned toward him, that God may bless us in our generation and our children and grandchildren in their generation. God's vision is long-reaching, stretching to an eternity in his kingdom. By walking in obedience to all God's commands, his people would live long and prosper. Our hearts are easily led astray, so we are unable to walk in obedience. That is why we need Jesus. When we receive his gospel, we receive a new life and a new heart. As we walk in obedience by following Jesus, we grow in his image. We enjoy the blessings and his kingdom now, and the hope of eternity sustains us in our hardships. Prayer. Father, thank you for giving me a new heart through Jesus. Help me to walk in obedience to Jesus every day, in hope of your blessing. One word: walk in obedience by following Jesus.